Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum students. Hope you all are fine, safe and sound in your home. I am Rida, your chemistry teacher, and today we will start our very new chapter, chapter 5. But before starting, I want to share a message or a thought of the day with you guys, which is don't see others as doing better than you. Beat your own records every day, and you will surely find success. Remember, success is a fight between you and yourself. When your back is to the wall and you are facing fear, head on the way is forward and through it. Believe it can be done when you believe something can be done. Really believe your mind will find a way to do it. So, you are the better version of yourself. Just believe in yourself and always stay positive. As we all know, matter exists in the three physical states. Actually, it exists in four physical states, but mostly we discuss the three states of the matter. And these states are solid, liquid and gases. And last one is plasma, but mostly we discuss these three physical states which are solid, liquid and gases. The simplest form of matter is gaseous state. Liquid are less common and the most of the matter exists as solid. Now we headed toward the main topic. We will firstly discuss the properties of solid, liquid and gases. Solids do have strong attraction between the particles. Liquids do have moderate attraction between the particles. Gases do have very weak attraction between the particles. In solid, particles are very close together and neatly arranged. In liquid, particles still very close together but not neatly arranged. In gases, particles are much farther away from each other. In solid, particles vibrate at their own mean position, or you can say particles vibrate in place. In liquid, particles are able to slide past each other, and in gases, the particles move all around and bump into each other. Solids do have definite shape and definite volume. Liquids do have indefinite shape and definite volume, and gases do have indefinite shape and indefinite volume. Solids are rigid and denser than liquids and gases, and they exist in amorphous or crystalline forms. Now we headed toward the main topic of our today's discussion, which is the typical properties of the gaseous state, and they are diffusion, effusion, pressure and standard atmospheric pressure. In today's topic, we will discuss these four properties of the gases. The very first property is diffusion. Gaseous particles are in constant random motion. Gaseous particles tend to undergo diffusion because they have kinetic energy. Diffusion is faster at high temperature because the gas molecules have greater kinetic energy. Gases can diffuse very rapidly. Diffusion is defined as spontaneous mixing up of molecules by random motion and collision to form a homogeneous mixture. Rate of diffusion depend upon the molecular mass of the gas. Lighter gases diffuse rapidly than the heavier ones. For example, if we take an example of hydrogen and oxygen gas, hydrogen has a lighter mass than that of oxygen. That's why it diffuses 4 times faster than oxygen gas. Second property is effusion. In physics and chemistry, effusion is the process in which a gas escapes from container through a hole of diameter considerably smaller than the mean free path of the molecules. Such a hole is often described as a pinhole, and the escape of the gas is due to the pressure difference between the container and the exterior. Under these conditions, essentially all molecules which arrive at the hole continue to pass through the hole, since collision between molecules in the region of the hole are negligible. In the image on the left side show effusion, and the image on the right side show diffusion. Effusion occurs through an orifice smaller than the mean free path of the particles in motion, whereas diffusion occurs through an opening in which multiple particles can flow through simultaneously. Third property is pressure. The pressure of a gas is the force that the gas exerts on the wall of the container. When you blow air into a balloon expands because the pressure of air molecules is greater on the inside of the balloon than the outside. Pressure is a property which determines mass flows if the balloon is released. the air moves from a region of higher pressure to a region of low pressure and the balloon deflates. Pressure is defined as the force F exerted per unit surface area A. So its formula is given as P is equals to F by A, where P is a pressure, F is a force and A is a area. In this picture you can see two containers or cylinder having the gas enclosed in them. In the very first cylinder you can see the expanded volume, or you can say the pressure on these gas molecule is very less, and on the second container you can see the increased pressure. We applied the pressure on the gas molecules and they compressed. In the first picture of the container you can see the expanded volume of the gases because of the less pressure applied on them, but if you increasing the pressure on the volume of the gases, then their volume decreases and you can say gas is compressed. What is the SI unit of pressure? The SI unit of force is Newton and that of area is meter square. Hence the unit of pressure, or you can say SI unit of pressure, is Newton per meter square. If you are applying the force of 1 Newton on the area of 1 meter square, then according to the formula, pressure is equal to force by area. Force is 1 Newton and area is 1 meter square. So it's become or equals to 1 Newton per meter square, which is equivalent to 1 Pascal. 1 Newton per meter square is equals to 1 Pascal. Instrument used to measure pressure. Barometer is used to measure atmospheric pressure and manometer is used to measure pressure in the laboratory. Now we headed toward our last property of today's topic, and that is standard atmospheric pressure. Atmospheric pressure, also known as barometric pressure, is the pressure within the atmosphere of the earth. The standard atmosphere is a unit of pressure defined as 101,325 Pascal, which is equivalent to 760 millimeter of mercury. Or we can define it as the pressure exerted by a mercury column of 760 millimeter height at sea level. It is a sufficient pressure to support a column of mercury 760 millimeter in height at sea level. At higher altitude have a low pressure, there is a lesser air above you, and at lower altitude have a higher pressure, there is more air above you. Air pressure is caused by the weight of the air molecules above the pressure cause air molecules at the Earth's surface to be more tightly packed together than those that are high in the atmosphere. If we're gonna take a look of these units, 1 atm is equivalent to 760 millimeter of mercury, which is equivalent to 760 torr, as 1 millimeter of mercury is equals to 1 torr. That's why 760 millimeter of mercury is equals to 760 torr, and that is equivalent to 101,325 Newton per meter square, and 101,325 Newton per meter square is equals to 101,325 Pascal, because 1 Newton per meter square is equals to 1 Pascal. We can measure the pressure of the atmosphere by balancing the air pressure by liquid pressure. We use mercury barometer over here you can see the mercury barometer over here, and prefer mercury because it is opaque and have high density. All the air is sucked from the top of a long glass tube over here. We suck all the air from that area. That is dipping into a dish of mercury. Over there we have a dish of mercury. Since the dish is open, the mercury will be forced up the tube by the air pushing down on the surface of the mercury in the dish. So that's how we measure the atmospheric pressure, by measuring the mercury rises up in the inverted tube. Level of the mercury rises in the inverted tube. So this is all about today's lecture. I hope you listen it attentively. And before ending the lecture, I do have some questions regarding the topic. The very first question is, why solids have definite volume but liquid don't have? Second question, differentiate between diffusion and effusion. Third, define pressure and what is its SI unit of pressure. Fourth question is, which instrument are used for measuring atmospheric pressure and pressure in the laboratory? Fifth question, define standard atmospheric pressure. And I know you all know the definition of standard atmospheric pressure. Now the last question is, 1 atm is equivalent to how many pascals? if you listen the lecture attentively and carefully, you may be able to answer these questions, and I hope you can answer these questions on your own. Thank you very much, and Allah Hafiz.